Hello, kindergarten students and learning coaches. I am so glad that you are able to watch this video. We are going to learn about President's Day, and we are going to listen to a fun President's Day story and complete some activities together at the end. So the story that we are going to listen to today is called President's Day. It is by Anne Rockwell. She is the author. She wrote the story. And the pictures are by Lizzie Rockwell. Lizzie is the illustrator, and she drew the pictures in this book. So while we are listening to this story, I want you to be thinking about the different things that it tells you about each president. So it's going to give you some facts about some of the presidents, and we need to try and remember those facts so we can complete an activity together when we are finished with this story. So put on your best listening ears, and we are going to listen to this story together. Learning coaches, if you scroll down to the description, you will see the link to this story, President's Day by Anne Rockwell. Please pause this recording and listen to the story with your student. All right, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed that story. I sure did. I learned about George Washington and Abraham Lincoln and Thomas Jefferson and Theodore Roosevelt. They were some of the presidents that were discussed in this book. So we are going to take all of those facts that are now in your brain, and we are going to complete a few activities. So I am going to open up our President's Day writing packet. Learning coaches, again, if you scroll down to the description of this YouTube video, you will see President's Day writing activities. You can click on that link and print this packet for your student. Now, we do not expect you to complete every activity in this packet. I would like for you and your student to scroll through and look at the pages of this packet and decide which activities look interesting or fun for your student to complete. So we are going to just briefly talk about each activity. I'm going to model a few of these activities, and then you and your student can decide which activities that they would like to complete. So this first activity is comparing and contrasting. Comparing and contrasting. When we compare things, we are talking about how they are similar or alike or the same. And when we are contrasting, we are talking about how things are different. So the Venn diagram is going to be comparing and contrasting George Washington's life to Abraham Lincoln's life. So anything that was the same in both of their lives, you're going to put there in the middle where the two circles overlap. Facts that are unique to George Washington's life will go over here in this circle. And facts that are just for Abraham Lincoln will go over here in this circle. So I am thinking back to the story about some of the facts that I learned about George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. Now, one thing that I thought was interesting that was the same for both of them, or a way they are similar, is that both of their faces are on Mount Rushmore. So that's what I'm going to write here in the middle, because that is the same for George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. So I'm writing both of their faces are on Mount Rushmore. Now, you can come up with your own ways that they are similar and different. These are just some examples that I'm putting here for you so you can see how to complete a Venn diagram. So this is a fact that was the same for George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. Now, something that was unique to George Washington, or a fact just about George Washington, a way they were different, is George Washington was the first president of the United States of America. So he was the first president of the United States of America. Now, Abraham Lincoln was different because he was the 16th president So over here, I'm writing 16th president of the, and I'm going to abbreviate, USA. Okay, so this is how to complete a Venn diagram. You are putting the ways that they are the same or similar in the middle, and ways that they are different on the outside. Okay, now you can think back into that story that we read, and you can write your own facts. If you need to go on the internet and look up facts about these two presidents, you can do that as well if this is one of the activities that you choose. Now, moving on to the next page of the packet, the directions for this page. Write 3 facts about President's Day. Remember that a fact can be proven. So here you are going to write fact 1, something that you learned from the story, fact 2, and fact 3. So you are going to have 3 different sentences. Remember, when you're writing a sentence, sentences begin with a capital letter. You should have finger spaces between the words, and you should have punctuation at the end of your sentence. So let's move on to the next page. This is another page of President's Day facts. Over here, you have the president's name listed, George Washington. And here's a little box where you can draw a picture of that president. So it's George Washington, Abe Lincoln, and Barack Obama, our current president. So you can draw their picture here, and then you'll write a fact about them in the space provided. So I am going to model an example of how to complete this activity. So here I'm going to pick George Washington. So I'm going to draw a picture of George Washington. Okay, and I am not an artist. I just want you to do the best that you can. And I think in the book he had his hair kind of long hair and a ponytail. So I'm going to give him kind of long hair. Okay, and then draw his body. Okay, so this is George Washington, and I am going to write that George Washington was the first president. Now, I do not know how to spell George Washington, but I see it written right here. So I'm going to look at this name, George Washington, and copy that. Remember, names start with an uppercase letter, a capital letter. So I'm copying George. Make sure there's a finger space between the words. Washington. Your student can sound this out if they would like, but it is written right here. So I'm just going to copy that if I'm not sure how to spell it. So George Washington, and then I'm writing George Washington was. So put a finger space. Was is one of our sight words that I know how to spell. So George Washington was the, and the is another one of our sight words. So I know how to spell that too. And I'm out of space here, boys and girls, so I'm going to come down here. George Washington was the first. Let's sound that out. George Washington was the first. Now, learning coaches, we are encouraging our students to write phonetically, so they are writing the sounds that they hear. And in first, you might hear first. George Washington was the first president. So, president. I hear that NT sound at the end. Okay? George Washington was the first president. And what am I missing at the end of my sentence? Punctuation. So I'm going to put a period at the end of my sentence. Now, if your student chooses to do this activity, boys and girls, you will draw your picture of George Washington and write your sentence. You will draw a picture of Abraham Lincoln and write your fact about him. and then Barack Obama, and write a fact about our current president. Okay, boys and girls, if you look at the next page of the packet, it is my day as a president. So you are going to pretend that you are the president of the United States of America, and you can draw pictures of things that might happen during your day. So you're going to draw the pictures in the box of what would happen, and then here you are going to number them in the order that those events happen. So you'll have 6 different events, 6 different pictures you can draw from your day, and then you will number those in the order that they happened. And this is just where you can write about my day as a president, and I really like this, and I will tell you why. So you are going to pretend again like you're president for a day and tell about things that happened. You're going to start writing here. Again, remember to use a capital letter, finger space between words, and punctuation at the end. I like this word bank up here. These are words to help guide your writing, words that you may want to use as you're writing. It says first, next, then, finally, and last. So these are this is Abraham's word bank to give you some ideas of words that you can use in your writing. But I love this down at the bottom. It is a little reminder checklist. After you are finished writing, you can go through this checklist and make sure that you completed all of these things. First, did I use capital letters where I'm supposed to at the beginning of the sentence and anyone's name? Did you use finger spaces between your words? If you did, you can check that box. Did you use correct punctuation, a period, question mark, or exclamation mark in the right place? And did you use your best handwriting, and is your work neat? So you can check those boxes off after you're finished writing just to make sure that you did all of those things. And again, we have this page. It is My Day as a President, just more space for you if you would like to continue writing about your day as a president. All right, now I hope you have fun completing these activities. Again, no pressure to complete all of these. Just pick some activities in this packet that you think interest you, okay, students? Just pick the activities that you would like to complete. I would like for you all to complete the attendance survey. That link is also down in the bottom of the description of this video, or you can access it at the top of our MIC. Over here, you will see attendance survey link. You can click on that link. This is the same link that we use for our Class Connect sessions, as well as for our other instructional videos. So it might be beneficial for you to bookmark this link if you have not already done so. For the topic, when you are completing the attendance survey, please enter President's Day. I hope that this video was helpful, and I hope you have a lot of fun completing these activities. Have a wonderful day.